What's going on, defenders? Been having some technical difficulties with the show this evening, trying to get our member Robert Camp on the show. So hopefully, Robert, if you're listening to this, hopefully get on here on the live, and maybe I can get you on. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, it worked.
Holy crap.
What's going on, brother?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, yeah, so I don't know what was going on. I couldn't hear you at all.
I heard you crystal clear. I don't know if it was the app or on my phone, or leave it up to comms to still be an issue even after you get out of the Army, right?
All right, guys. So for this week, obviously you have our man here, Robert Camp. He is an Army veteran or still active duty?
Still active duty. 1 July is retirement date.
Okay, so still active duty Army. He also is the head trainer and the owner of E023 Fitness. So without further ado, Robert Camp, please tell us a little about yourself and what you're up to now.
Like Red said, my name is Rob. Originally from Alabama. Father retired out of Fort Rucker. Was raised in Mobile. Graduated high school and was in basic training about 14 days later. So really no summer vacation right in the Army. Been in about 20 years now. This July when I retire will be a little over 21. Have two awesome kids, Alyssa and Jason. Currently engaged. Set to get married sometime next year. Come from a really large family. Youngest is 7. Our immediate family, we can break 40 without even blinking for a family get together. So, faith, family, all real important to me.
Awesome, brother. Well, I can relate as well. Faith and family, they're the two most important thing in my life as well, with my wife and my newborn baby. So just going back to you, so you're still in you're about to transition into the civilian world. How did you get started with your fitness career, and how did you start up your fitness company?
I mean, outside of normal PT that we always do every single day. Back in 2008, 2009, my company commander came in, took command of the MP company I was in at the time. Got introduced to CrossFit that way. Was immediately hooked, and as they say, the rest is history. Did CrossFit on my own. I was what they call an internet CrossFitter for quite a while. Saw videos online.
Just doing the WODs by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Just do the WODs by myself or with a group of people who still had no clue what the hell we were doing.
Yeah.
Was actually at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, when I heard about the only CrossFit gym in the area that was going to open, called Dropping Plates CrossFit. So contacted the owner. He was like, "Hey man, we're not even open yet. Shipment is supposed to arrive tomorrow." And jokingly, he was like, "Hey, come by at lunch. You can help me unload the truck." Well, I showed up.
Yeah.
Helped him out. A guy named Greg Snyder. Been friends with him ever since, and the passion just grew from there. Got my level 1 cert. and ended up just coaching last 7 or 8 years. Went out and got certifications both inside and outside of CrossFit. Just trying to increase the knowledge base, so I can coach as many athletes on every spectrum of the fitness scale that there is.
So you've been doing this for, you said, for the past 7 or 8 years. Have you, while still active duty, have you done any, other than coaching, have you done any competitions in CrossFit or?
So, some of the local competitions, nothing, nothing on like the national scale or national level or anything like that. Just some good, wholesome local fitness competitions. Just mainly out there having fun, being fit, enjoying the community.
Okay, right on. Well, much respect to that. So, what kind of led you into starting your own, so like, fitness company? So, how did that come about?
So I always wanted to open my own box. Being active duty, it's kind of hard because I never know when the Army is going to move me.
Right.
I never know where the Army is going to move me. A little bit more predictability the longer you're in. But as I got closer to retirement, passion just kept growing. I knew I wanted to open up my own gym. I knew I wanted to do both group type classes like you'll find in a CrossFit gym, and plus individual one-on-one personal training type. So I figured, why not launch the company now? Make mistakes early while I still got the Army paycheck to fall back on, and then plan is to transfer this into a brick and mortar actual gym once I retire.
Yeah, I love the message because I'm right there with you, man. A lot of people, they kind of just wait until like the perfect time, or oh, I'll do that once I'm out. Well, I mean, why not do it now? Like you said, right? I mean, just
Yeah,
start off now, and yeah, you're gonna fail. There's gonna be a lot of learning lessons, but I mean, it's better to start off now than waiting and putting it off until later, right?
yeah, exactly. There is no right time.
Awesome.
The
Yep.
right time is right now.
Yep. That's a great message right there, man. So, with you transitioning out of the Army, you got your box, your gym now. What's been what's been some of the trying times? What's been some of the worst times you've experienced, with starting your business and then now transitioning out of the military?
Yeah. So just launched in February. Don't have my own box yet. Still waiting to transition to the actual to the hard site and
Okay.
once I retire. So I haven't. I made little mistakes, but nothing huge yet. No major mistakes, no major regrets yet. I know it's going to happen. If you're not making mistakes, I heard a saying the other day: if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Really, just trying to focus in on the getting the name out there. Trying to figure out this Instagram and Facebook algorithm. Just trying to get the name out there, both on a local and national level. Trying to figure out this whole Instagram thing and Facebook, and because nothing's chronological anymore. So
It's forever.
just really
It's always
working.
changing. Yeah.
Yeah, just really working the publicity aspect of it has probably been the hardest thing for me so far.
Yeah, definitely. And just to go back on the name, can you further elaborate on how you came up with the name?
Oh yeah, so E28 Fitness. So like I said, my faith is very important to me. So Ephesians 2:8, Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 is my favorite favorite Bible verse in the Army, and that's by grace you have been saved. This is not of yourself, but a gift from God. Kind of reminds me that no matter what I do here, I'm going to need God's grace to join Him in heaven once I die. Right. So Ephesians 2:8 has always been my favorite Bible verse, and it just kind of made sense. E28 just kind of flowed, and then added the fitness behind it, the E28 fitness, and there you go. There you have it.
Awesome, man. That's an awesome message and a great verse as well. I just want to say thanks to Greg, James, my boy Chris Hoffman. Thanks, guys, for watching. Actually, Greg has a question here. What's your best advice for athletes trying to come back from injury?
That's a good question. Best advice. One, I am a personal trainer, and a lot of other people that are part of the this Defender Alliance Fitness. We are personal trainers. We have knowledge in physical therapy or risk mitigation, or how the body works, the physiology, the kinesiology, all that stuff. But I'm not a doctor. So if you are injured, not just sore, but if you have an injury, ripped tendon, broken bone, whatever the case may be, the first thing you need to do is go see a doctor, right? Figure out what's going on, get imagery, and then it's a slow road back within the confines of what your doctor is telling you to do, right? I think the biggest obstacle that we have, especially as men, is our ego, right? Well, hey, before I got injured, I could pull a 500 plus deadlift. Okay, well, this injury is going to limit that, right? So we work through pain-free range of motion, right? Work within the confines of what your doctor has told you can and can't do. And then we push a little bit harder and a little bit harder each day, staying within that pain-free range of motion. So ego in check, stay within what the doctor tells you to do, and don't give up.
And to personal trainers and fitness professionals, that goes along with them as well. Just making sure they know their clients.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Their limitations as well, right? Not just being a hard ass and just trying to push them every time when if there's an injury.
Right.
Make sure you know their limitations.
If you have a knowledgeable trainer, listen to him, push when he tells you to push. When it's time to ease back, ease back. And as for your personal trainers out there, if your client is being seen by a doctor, if you can, create a relationship with that doctor, so that way he knows when his patient is training with you, he knows the confines of the limits of that person, and create and build that relationship.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, just go into the group, man. There's like close to 400 members that are willing to help you guys out. So
absolutely.
So we went over some of the worst moments. What's been the best moment so far as a trainer for you?
I think this may sound cliche, but when you get done with either a one-on-one session or when you get done with a group class, thank you, coach. Best words I've heard in the last 7 years when it comes to the personal training or the fitness side of it, right? Even today, get done with a class, get done with a client. Hey, thanks, coach. Thank you, coach. I appreciate it. It still gets me, right? Because for whatever reason, they've sought out you to help them on their fitness journey, right? And I don't take that honor, that privilege of coaching an athlete or coaching athletes for granted. So over and over, day in, day out, the words "thank you, coach" is the best part of it. Helping those people get to where they want to go, regardless of what their goal is. Lose fat, gain muscle, recover from an injury, prep for competition. We all have different goals. We're all on a different path. We're all on a different journey. But to help somebody reach that goal and to see that spark, it's addicting. You know,
It's
I
definitely
I get more excited when other people hit, you know, their PRs on lifts or run a PR for a marathon or whatever the case may be. I get more excited for them than I do for myself when I hit a lift. You know, just when that person hits that personal goal, whatever that is, and you know you had a small part of it, it's addicting. It's addictive.
it's definitely a rewarding feeling and a rewarding career. You know, changing lives. You know, whether that be through fitness or um, you know, physically, emotionally, or whatnot. It's
Absolutely.
definitely a rewarding feeling. So, Robert, so we might have some listeners that are just starting out in their personal training careers. What's one advice you'd give those that are just starting out?
Don't ever. We talking about trainers themselves or people looking.
Trainers and people who are starting to start their fitness businesses.
So, never stop learning. Um, you know, when I first started, I focused on CrossFit certifications, which they're phenomenal, by the way. But sooner or later, you're going to have a client that doesn't want to do CrossFit. They want to do powerlifting. They want to run. They're going to have different goals. So first and foremost, never stop learning. You know, seek out those certifications. Seek out those podcasts. Seek out those, you know, seminars. Go out there and learn. Put what you learned into practice. You know, go to those physical workshops. Reading's great, but watching somebody deadlift and being able to fix them on the spot is better. So that would be my biggest thing is if you're interested in personal training, don't tunnel yourself into one form of education. Go out there and learn as much as you can.
Definitely, I agree with you 100%. Never stop learning because there's always a new way, new strategies, new things to try, especially in the health and fitness, you know, industry. And if you know if there's somebody there that you're aspiring to be, then why not go ahead and reach out to that person and you know be close to that person and you know get all the knowledge that you can from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one other key aspect as being a trainer or a coach or whatever you want to call it is knowing that it's okay to say that I don't know. If I have an athlete or a client come to me and say, "Hey, I want to be a professional hopscotch player." Okay, well, I have one or two things to do. I either need to learn everything I can about being a professional hopscotch player, or I need to be able to swallow my pride enough to go find them a coach to help them out. Because your job as a coach isn't to corral people into your idea of what they think they should be. Your job as a coach, your obligation as a coach is to get that individual where they want to go. So you either have to have the knowledge base or seek out the knowledge base to get them to where they want to go, or be a good enough person to seek out that person that can help them.
And it's just so hard to gain that trust back once it's lost. If you just you know start talking about things that you don't know and you try to be everything for that one client, I mean, sooner or later they're gonna find out. Like, you know, you're not telling them the whole truth or this isn't
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
great message. So, Robert, what's one internet resource that you'd recommend for our listeners to look up as far as starting out to become personal trainers?
I guess it really all depends on if they have an area they want to be, if they want to get specialized in. I'm great at general physical preparedness because that's where my heart is. That's where my passion is. And there are some areas that I'm not so good at, and those areas I just don't train. But for general information about starting your own business, There's actually 3 podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis. The one is faith-based. It's called The Word on Fire by Bishop Barron. It's purely about my faith. Don't know if that's going to help anybody start a business. The other 2 is Chasing Excellence by a great dude and a great trainer called Ben Bergeron. The other one is an entrepreneur-based podcast called the MF Project by Andy Frisella, who's the CEO and founder of a supplement company based out of St. Louis called First Form, which is a phenomenal company that produces phenomenal products also. So The Word on Fire by Bishop Barron, Chasing Excellence by Ben Bergeron, and the MF Project by Andy Frisella. Those are the 3 podcasts that I'll listen to on a regular basis.
Awesome. Podcasts all day for me as well.
Oh yeah.
That's all I listen to when I'm in the car. So,
Yes.
Robert, what's your definition of being fit, and why is it important to you?
So, Greg Glassman, founder and CEO of CrossFit, published a sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. I would draw it, but I don't know how much room or how much time we have. Basically, it's a continuum that goes from left to right, basically in an arch. Far left side is sickness, far right side is fitness, in the middle is wellness, right? And these just aren't abstract ideas. Well, what's wellness? Well, it's the opposite of being sick. Well, no, that doesn't give you a definition of what wellness or fitness is. Fitness, wellness is measurable, right? What's your blood pressure? What's your glycogen levels? What's your heart rate? What's your sugar levels? What's your deadlift? What's your 1 mile run time? All these measurable things, and they all track together, right? What's your body fat percentage? What's your skeletal muscle mass versus your body fat percentage? All these things track together. You can have a 500-pound deadlift, but run an 18-minute mile. You're probably not as fit as you should be, right? Unless, I don't want to take anything away from powerlifters. If we're talking solely fitness, right? We're talking about multiple avenues, right? 10 degrees of fitness: power, strength, speed, stamina, balance. All these things track together. So if you have a 500-pound deadlift, if you're running a mile in under 7 minutes, if you have a body weight and a half back squat, if you can do Fran in under 3 minutes, I can almost guarantee you have low blood pressure, you have a low resting heart rate, you have a low body fat percentage, and you have good skeletal muscle mass. So
hey, Robert, explain Fran for those people that are listening that don't know.
So Fran is a named workout. It's a rep scheme of 21, 15, 9. So 21 reps, then 15 reps, and 9 reps of thrusters. What a thruster is a front squat followed immediately into an overhead press and pull-ups. It's meant to set your lungs on fire.
Yeah.
So all these things track together, right? And for me, it's important to stay on the fitness side of the continuum as long as physically possible. Because the further I'm over on the fitness side of the continuum, if I get sick or I get injured, I go back to wellness, right? If I stay hovering over that wellness and I get sick or injured, then I'm back at sick, right? So that idea isn't, for me personally, the idea isn't to make it to the CrossFit Games. The idea is to be able to coach athletes to a point where they stay out of nursing home at the age of 60. Right? To have functional capabilities long into your 80s, 90s, 100-year-old. Right? So to me, that's why fitness or being fit or staying fit is important. So let me back up just a second when I talked about not being able to run fast. That also goes back to individual goals. I got buddies that are powerlifters. I got guys that can move tremendous amount of weight. that is their goal. And like I said, if that's your goal as an individual, then it's my job to either help you or to get you to a trainer that can get you there. I enjoy all types of fitness. I have friends that are power lifters. I have friends that are Olympic lifters. I have friends that do competition on stage bodybuilding. I have friends that are, group fitness instructors like Zumba or body pump or combat. And those are all great. Kickboxing, martial arts, those are all forms of fitness, right? And you just have to find your niche. Just because I don't like one thing doesn't mean it's bad. So I'm not trying to blast any one area of fitness. I got you name an area of fitness or exercise or discipline, and I probably got a buddy or two that are doing it. So again, it goes back to that individual person's goals. But for me, fitness is staying as functional as possible for as long as possible.
And just to go back to what you were saying, you can't be everything to everybody.
Right.
You're not going to know the many different fields of fitness. So, know yourself as a personal trainer and know the needs of your clients, right?
Exactly.
So, guys, if you're tuning in, make sure you guys drop a comment below. Robert here is just dropping some knowledge. And just Robert, coming up in the last portion of our interview here. So I'm going to ask you some 5 questions, and I call these the 5 fitness facts of our guests.
All right, let's go.
All right, so what's your favorite workout?
Ooh, something mid time range, somewhere between the 10 to 20 minute mark. Definitely needs to involve a barbell with moderately heavy weight. And hopefully nothing where I have to run over 800 meters at a time.
Something of a sprint, right?
Yeah, 10 to 20 minute range, decent work capacity, decent weight on the barbell.
What's your least favorite?
Least favorite? Anything that's monostructural. Running for miles and miles on end. Doesn't do it for me,
It just seems boring.
Yeah, I can't. The runner's high. I've run a lot. I've been in the Army for the last 20 years. I'm a decent runner. I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true. You got to do it, but don't enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
So next question. If you had to choose one person you could train with, who would it be and why?
That's hard. I've trained with a lot of good people, a lot of good dudes. And to me, dudes is gender neutral. Dudes, men and women. So there's a lot of people that I've worked out and trained with before that I would love to work out and train with again. And there's a few out there that I've never trained with that I would love to. So it really all depends.
What about celebrity?
What's that?
What about a celebrity? Any
celebrity? Man. So gonna be cliche, but I gotta go with the GOAT, which is Rich Froning. Rich Froning, Matt Fraser, Ben Smith. If we're talking celebrities, probably one of those dudes.
Awesome. Next question. Recommend a book for our listeners to read.
So I'm currently reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. From what I hear, pretty late to the game on that book. It's been out for a while. But admittedly, I'm not a great reader. I don't have a library full of books that I've read. But it is important. Education is important. Be able to focus to get the most out of every minute, out of every day, out of every client, out of every athlete. You got to read. So I just kind of make myself sit down and read. So that's the book I'm reading right now.
Yeah, definitely, man. Continue to learn. And lastly, tell us your favorite quote and why.
Favorite quote? It's got to go back to my my company's namesake. Is that Bible verse? Ephesians 2:8. Um, by grace you have been saved, and this is a gift of God, not of yourself. Um, again, reminds me that one, I have to be a good person. I have to help those without any bias. But it also reminds me that no matter what I do, I need God, period. If I am going to make it into heaven, I need God. So I always got grace and mercy confused. And it was explained to me pretty simply. Grace is something you get that you don't deserve. Mercy is not getting something that you do deserve. Think about that one.
Robert, man, I love the message. I love what you're all about. Faith and family, and definitely one of the most important things that we can give someone is our time, right? And giving them our full divided attention. And you're doing it, brother. You're changing lives, and also defending ours. So thank you, and I appreciate you for being part of the alliance, brother.
I appreciate the interview, man. Thanks for your time. Happy
right,
birthday.
guys.
If you don't know, it's his birthday tomorrow. So give him a shout out. Send him a birthday card. Give him a note on his page tomorrow. Happy birthday, brother.
Hey, Robert, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. And guys, thank you for being with us here live. Robert, thanks again for being on the alliance, and we'll see you guys soon. Keep changing lives.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Peace.